Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Al Mega with another Comic Crusaders podcast. And today I am joined by the product and illustration coordinator of this fantastic new application from the Jump. It's called Behind the Con. I'm very happy to introduce the one and only Nathaniel Doom.
Hello, and yes, that is my last name.
That's really cool, man. The first thing I thought of is a video game. Like, man, this is a comic book or a video game character right here.
Well, I thought about becoming a doctor pretty seriously for a while. Just half of it was actual interest in the medical field, and half of it was just to get the title of Dr. Doom. So
my God.
I thought
you would have had every Marvel person at your office. Oh my God, who's your doc? Yo, Doc Doom, kid.
Yes. So,
but you're not from Latveria, are you?
From
Latveria, from where Dr. Doom is from?
No, I am. Yeah, I am. Family heritage goes way back. It's a real country. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, folks, this app actually came out during a recent con, right? During the virtual San Diego, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we launched around then, and we're kind of trying to just launch things in the season of Comic Cons, but now everything's virtual. So some of the dates for the different events are more spread out. But yeah, so we're kind of in that season.
Excellent. All right. So folks, this is an app again. It's going to help us navigate cons. At least from a fan angle, I see exactly what they're trying to do. I also do want to ask you questions on how from the showrunner angle, how that looks for them. But before we get into that, what's the origin of the Behind the Con? Are you yourself and your team big convention fans or comic fans? Like, what was the origin behind this? I'm curious.
It's an interesting origin story, like all good ones. So I'm kind of the comic fan. I've gone to some conventions. I've mostly Motor City Comic Con. I'm from Michigan originally. Now I'm in KC, so I've been to Planet Comic Con, which is the KC one. But so I work on illustration at the Jump and some production stuff, design stuff. It's a startup, so there's a smaller team of people, so we wear a lot of hats. And so there was our PR lead, Sue, who's more recently joined the team. One meeting, they were talking about different things we could do on the app to draw people in, to have cool stuff going on. And so she mentioned, just offhand one time, I have some connections in the Comic-Con, scene. I know Mike Mignola, and I was just like, wait,
Ooh,
what?
What? Hellboy?
I was like, yeah, who as me, and so me, on the side, I do a lot of art, and I have a creator short comic that I made, and so I'm working on. So that's like my kind of side passion that didn't have connection to, I had some overlap with my regular job, but like the comic specific stuff didn't. And so when I heard her say that, I was like, yes, let's do that.
Yes.
So I kind of asked her more about that and found out she had all these connections. And so I kind of thought, okay, yeah, this would be a cool endeavor. And it was really exciting to me because, especially with Mike Mignola, he's like the guy that is one of my main kind of inspirations as an artist and a writer of his own comic.
Yeah.
Doing both those things and doing it so successfully. That's kind of like the ultimate, thing to strive for as someone who's like, I'm interested in the art, but I also really am interested in the writing at the same time. So, and it's more of not a lot of Western comics do the whole artist writer is the same person thing, but in the East, more in like manga, it's kind of the main thing. So it's cool to see that overlap. And so that's how it started. Just talks with her and stuff started to come together and work out. And
what made you think of doing it like on the behind the scene? Because one of the things about this that jumps out at me is that while yes, we get to check out things on the show, but you have a behind the interview series. Because once you mentioned Mignola, and of course, as I got the press release when this was popping off in San Diego, I was like, Mignola, Eisenberg, Campbell, what? I mean, what you guys connected with here is insane.
Right. Yeah. It was. So so the whole it was kind of just this cool thing that came together with Sue's experience in the industry and the people saying yes, and basically my add to it was just with the Jump's goal is to bring people together in community in an authentic way. And so I had the idea of doing a kind of storytelling, like just real authentic stories that people have had at these conventions, as just a way to kind of inspire other people to join into the community and share theirs in the same way. So it's like, hearing Bruce Campbell share some of his Comic-Con stories, is you kind of want to be a part of that and share your own, because even though he's Bruce Campbell, he has his own, just like we all do. So the goal is to get people in that group sharing, and so we're still making things. We're still we have a couple interviews that we haven't released yet, and so the goal is still just that, is to get people in community and sharing about what they love. And I guess that's kind of what the whole convention scene is about. It's about fandom and sharing what you love, and it fit kind of really well actually with what we're trying to do overall with the entire app. And so it's exciting. It's a cool thing. So
yeah, I want to do a quick screen share here because we're talking about the app. I want people to begin to get an idea. And of course, if you look at the bottom of the screen, you could check it out there. Okay, folks, take a look. And you could also, for even more information about the Jump, you go here to Behind the Con, all right? And take a look. But let's go ahead right now, actually, and just do a screen share and take a look at the website, all right? And navigate it with Mr. Doom. Excellent. So here we are at the site. Very pretty site. Love the coloring. I would see that yellow. Come on now. So check out these amazing interviews right here. So you got exclusive with Campbell, Mark. Oh man, Bernardine, Susan Eisenberg. I had her. She's awesome, man. Wonder Woman. Magnola. Okay. What's the app? You know what? Let's want to do it. Want to go behind the app over here?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Hey everybody, join us as we celebrate the spirit of Comic-Con by sharing our favorite moments from years past. We'll be featuring stories and exclusive interviews from well-known actors, writers, artists, and other members of the entertainment industry. And we want you to join our community as well and share your stories, whether it's that time at a convention where you met your favorite TV or film star, or that con where your cosplay turned out just right. Tell us about it. Let us know. Our goal here, it's simple, really. We want to come together during this unique time and remember what it is about the convention experience that we love so much.
Man, do I want that spinner rack behind him right now.
Yeah.
And he's a man after my heart. He has Spawn on it, and that's my number one comment.
So actually, and I should, that reminds me to mention Mike Avila. He was kind of also the key piece that fell into place to that Sue was connected with, to where I was actually familiar with some of his work on sci-fi. He's done some different like documentaries, and so he's a huge part of this, as well as to do the interviews and just his experience that he brings to the whole thing. He's been doing it for a long time, and so we're also kind of putting together some things for some just kind of unique videos that he's gonna help us make as well. So
fantastic. I saw this one, the Image Comics Changed the World. Very great. I haven't seen Behind the Panel. I gotta check this out, man. But I definitely did appreciate that Image one. And here, where we could get the app and join the community. Look at the keyword here, folks. Oh my God, free.
Yes.
Would it be free for the lifetime? Is it free only for fans? Is there maybe a showrunner side to this? Let's get into it.
So I can get into a little bit more of like the Jump side of things as a platform. So it's kind of surprisingly robust for being free. It's a fully fledged social media platform, and Behind the Con is kind of contained within a larger mission of what the whole app's trying to do, which is be an alternative to these giant social media companies, but have no data tracking, have no ads, no algorithms, and just provide a healthier alternative to some of the regular companies that have gotten so large. And there's this recent documentary that Netflix put out called The Social Dilemma.
Oh
And
my
that kind
God.
of that have you seen that? You've seen that?
Oh yeah, mind-blowing stuff.
So basically, I mean, if you've seen that, we're trying to do something about that problem. And one of the ways you can do that, I guess, is just provide an alternative that doesn't do, these things. And so
So
that's
we're
what
not
the
going to
apps.
get pop-up ads, they're not going to see what I'm scrolling and all of a sudden I get on a pop-up, hey,
No.
you look for Magnolia, here's Hellboy, the
No,
next Men,
yeah.
first issue with the Hellboy.
Right,
in it.
right, yeah. So
No?
that's
Okay.
that's something where it's it's not something that we want to do for obvious reasons, and just giving people a chance to have something that doesn't do that, but is still using the awesome technology that has been developed in social platforms. It's not it's the technology itself is not inherently bad. It's just sometimes things can unfortunately have consequences that we didn't perceive. And so the best thing you can do is learn and make something new, and so that's a big part of what the whole mission of the Jump is. And
See, I have a question there because you did touch upon it with social dilemma, and sometimes people get dumb and say crazy commentary on social media platforms. Within Behind the Con community, is there that type of community where we could comment, and if somebody says something negative, is it something that's automatically flagged, or do you guys have people perusing that?
No, and we well, see, here's the thing: is the whole kind of point is that we want to give people the power to
Okay.
choose that themselves. So we have like features where you could put in your own keyword blocking. So if you don't want to hear
wonderful.
someone talk about, you could you could put in COVID. You could put in COVID as a keyword block, and it's not that you don't want to ever hear anything about it. It's just our goal is to be a place where you just don't.
A safe haven.
This is about Comic-Con. This is about the celebration
Thank
of
you.
Comic-Con. This is what we do here. If you want to talk about that, there's a lot of alternatives, and you can go to those places. But here we're about this, so that's where the interest-based kind of communities comes from. Is when you have these kind of clear, separated zones of people just sharing about what they like. It kind of helps buffer that. Rather than just the centralized focus on a centralized feed where everything gets funneled together. I think that's where a lot of things get, wires get crossed, I guess, and sparks fly.
Yeah. But thank you
so,
for thinking on that level, though, because it's kind of how I take the approach of Comic Crusaders. That's why I kind of put purposely no politics, just fandom, because there are people that want to see that on our page. However, I'm not about that. You
Right.
want news, go to CNN or something, go to your Fox, whoever one-sided media you like, go ahead.
Right.
We're not about that. And that's what I'm saying. That is why I felt the energy with the Jumping Behind the Con, because you guys are after our hearts too. We're on the same wavelength, if you will.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. It's a thing. It's just about, kind of leading in a culture that and that's what I guess we're trying to do with this whole thing is just, it's about a positive, authentic culture. And you do that by making good content, and by, leading by example. So
yeah, that's the key thing. Lead by example. If you're saying you're not going to show something, don't show it, don't push it, keep it positive, keep it clean, show love. Somebody bothers you, the block button is very powerful, or you could mute them. Done deal. That's how I've managed to navigate and just keep myself sane. And see, this is why this is great, but this isn't yet. So awesome. Now, what's the next show, if you will, that the Jump is gonna be utilizing the app with?
From the Jump, or from inside of Behind the Con?
Inside Behind the Con, yeah.
Inside Behind
actually
the Con.
both. Let's do both. Let's do both, so people know what to expect when they download this awesome free app.
Yes, so we have a couple different communities on the app outside of Behind the Con. We have an artist community called Pen Pals, that's centered around. It's kind of a funny play on words, I guess, the name. It's centered around like art and people posting their art, and that's one of our bigger groups where people post regularly, and it's a very positive, awesome community. It's kind of like an ideal kind of representation of what we are going for. People post their art and they just compliment each other, encourage each other, and so that's one of the cooler ones. And we actually to connect it to the second question of Behind the Con, we interviewed Jim Mahfood, who's a
Oh, really?
comic
Yeah.
artist. Yeah.
Yeah, I love his art.
So he also did a drawing demo for us. And that was awesome. And so we recorded that. So we have his interview, and we're going to release that. But we also have a little drawing art demo that he did, and the hope is to kind of cross-pollinate, I guess, the groups, and kind of expand the Behind the Con umbrella, I guess. Yeah, awesome. to artists too, because there's overlap, and we want to make it available and accessible for anyone who's kind of connected to the whole comic world. And
I love that. I love that art side of it. Are they able to connect to one another and and maybe communicate? For example, I love how you did this. I would love to work with you. Does the app allow for that type of communication between users?
Yes, yeah. So people kind of have posted their work, and they've said, hey, this is the kind of work I do. Okay. I do commissions as well, but they also just post like their personal art. It's a good balance. It's actually been cool to see that people haven't been overly, trying to sell themselves on there. It's been a more natural thing. So, yeah.
Basically going towards the goal of community as opposed to a hustle going to a mall.
Yeah, and that's kind of where the whole just really being intentional with the culture of the entire app really helps, because it's just kind of, it sets an expectation that that encourages people to be that way, and I think they genuinely enjoy it too. So it's hopefully in the future a place where you can get authentic community, but you can also have the fruit that comes from that, connecting with people, finding new artists, finding new interests happens as well. So I know there's some people I follow on Instagram that I didn't before, which is a different, because a different app, yes. Just because the Pen Pals one, and that serves a different purpose. That's more their outward facing art, but I also see their stuff on the Jump. So it's cool.
So do we foresee like the Jump Behind the Con panels at cons one day for community meetups?
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, all of the above, I guess.
Yeah, I want it all.
Yeah, I'm excited. Well, that's
thinking like Dr. Doom. He wants it all.
Yes. I'm just excited to see kind of what it will turn into, I guess, because there's so many ways it could go. But I think, the main focus is still just community and connecting people. So I could see it being, like more like a meetup around, the kind of vibe of what the app's trying to do. And it's interesting, because the whole, COVID thing and all that, we're missing Comic-Cons right now. And so that was a big part of how this kind of tied into where a big reason is trying to celebrate Comic-Con is because we are missing some of that. So there's a lot of questions, or we asked questions to the people we've interviewed, what do you miss about con? And it was interesting to hear kind of Mike Mignola talk about how he kind of didn't know how much he missed it or liked it, until it was gone. And so, so it'd be cool to then kind of, once people start meeting again in the future, depending on where this is at, actually see some of these people face to face and, bring it into
always a pleasure. Absolutely. My last con this year was just the Podfest in Orlando, and it was nice to, see faces, because then they did 2 other shows after the fact, which were of course virtual. But being that I had met them earlier in the year, it just felt so much more comfortable and cool. And so that show felt a very community-wide show as opposed to a con. Because then I did another show that I've never did before, and it was the first time I did it virtually, and I couldn't do it. I just couldn't. Just the energy. But I guess maybe also because I didn't have that connection. We miss that. We need that. I miss cons. That's my whole purpose. The community, meeting new people, talking to artists, and you made me laugh when you said how like Manola's missing it right now. I met a lot of artists when I was in Massachusetts. Let me tell you, they would have a face. Oh, these people are driving me nuts and whatnot. But coming to what you said with Manola, they've come back to me like, oh man, I miss the craziness.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you complain, but then you miss it. We're psychos.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. Like I when things kind of normalize a bit, and it kind of goes along with some of the things we're working on right now, because one of the big goals too is to bring people into real life things on off the app. So we're working on some things that a feature that hopefully will help people do that, because that's a big part of what we want to do too, is not have people be just always on the app, and if someone, if people get, meet each other on the app or find a community on the app, but then that leads to real life things, meeting in conventions maybe in the future, or whatever you do with your friends or whatever, being off the app is but together is something that we think is awesome as well. So
excellent.
That'd be cool.
I appreciate what you guys are doing here, man. This is going to be great. This is going to be really great. Again, because, Comic Crusaders loves technology. We've been talking about technology, with Multiverse. And this weekend, we're going to talk to the people from Macroverse. We've spoken to the people from Global Comics. Again, we're all about trying to also build a community, make sure everybody knows all this awesome technology that's out there that could keep us as busy and as occupied during these very difficult times. And that's something I didn't ask you, man. I mean, you guys are building this amazing app during this COVID. I mean, how is it to work that, like that in creating an app during such a crazy, hectic time?
It's interesting. I feel blessed or more fortunate than a lot of people. I try to remember that because we have the ability to work remotely as needed. And so it's been good for me personally and for the team. It hasn't not affected us at all, but all the more reason that I think it's encouraging for us to do our jobs well, because not everyone has had that opportunity to transition to a remote or make something work. So it's something that I guess just it keeps encouraging us to do a good job, and
excellent.
And I'm thankful. So
excellent. As am I. I've been working from home for almost over 5 years. So, this is nothing new to me. To me, it's like, oh, they closed down. Okay. I've been locked up for 5 years myself, kind of at home. So no difference for me other than, I just got to leave earlier before things close.
Right.
But it's been all right. Again, being able to connect this way, thank God for the internet, and technology, where we could still connect with others, still share in the greatness of our wonderful community and whatnot, and spread that positivity. And I thank you, Dr. Doom. I mean, Mr. Doom.
You can call me Doctor.
Doc D, man, Doc D.
I don't mind.
Right. So check this out, bro. A friend of mine sent me these. These are called pod decks, right? It's just a questions, right? So what I've decided to do is just always at the end of our interview, just pull out one random card. I promise you that none of these are fresh or anything, but it is going to be a random question. Even I don't know what's coming out of here. All right.
Okay.
So let's see what I pop up. I'm shuffling, and I'm going for the top card. And this is a funny one. And this is actually great for Dr. Doom here. What weird food combinations do you really enjoy?
I one popped in my head, but I'm trying to find an alternate because it might be too weird.
It's all right. Let's go with weird. It's all right. No one's going to chastise you.
It's actually more something I ate when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I used to like peanut butter and bologna sandwich. I haven't eaten it in a long time. Actually, I should try that again. It's been a while, but yeah, for whatever reason.
On Italian bread or white old Wonder bread?
I'm just a white Wonder bread. I think I just got creative as a kid or something. I didn't know that, that's not, I thought, I like peanut butter jelly. I like bologna. So I just put it together and
it didn't bother you. You just ate it as a kid. You're like, all right.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. So I forgot about that one. I should try that.
Okay, all of a sudden, I may see that on the behind the scenes, the Jump presents behind the con. We're going to see the Nathaniel Doom's recipe section. Peanut butter and bologna sandwiches.
We do have a food group on there too. So
take a picture of that, boy. Throw it in there.
I should add it. Yeah. Hey, So do you answer the question as well?
Oh no, man. Come on, I'm a Latino, bro. I'm Puerto Rican. We eat all types of weird shit.
Okay.
We eat it all. Ears, pig's feet. Come on. Except for me, I don't really like pig's feet. I can't imagine. If you get some pig toe jam in there, isn't that cleaned properly? That must be disgusting.
Just add some peanut butter. That's what you're missing.
Peanut butter on everything, folks. It'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Nathaniel, thank you so much for joining us today to talk about the Jump app, about Behind the Con. Please just repeat to folks, where can they check out the Jump and Behind the Con?
So you can go to thejump.com/behindthecon, and that'll give you a link into the community, the Behind the Con community. Download the app. If you want to just know more about the app in general, you can go to thejump.com. That'll give you kind of a bigger overview of the app as a whole. And you can find us on Google Play and the App Store. Download it, try it out. We'd be happy to have you. So,
if somebody wanted to see a picture of your peanut butter and bologna sandwich, is there any place they could follow you?
You could. I'm on the app as Nathaniel Doom. We have a group called Food Files in the Jump. You can search that, Food Files. And I guess I have to make a post about peanut butter and bologna now. So
please do it. Please do it. Let's make it go viral.
Yeah.
Excellent. So again, I'm Al Mega with Comic Crusaders with Mr. Nathaniel Doom. This has been a great conversation. I want everybody to please get behind this fantastic app, man. It's really cool. A lot of great interviews, as you saw, with legends in the industry. I mean, you guys are off to an amazing start. So I wish you guys nothing but success, and know that the Comic Crusaders and Undercover Kids family are here to support you.
Thank you.
All right. So with that, folks, remember to check out ComicCrusaders.com, UndercoverCapes.com. And this weekend, October 24th, Comic Crusaders Virtual Con 2, in honor of Lisa Ironford for charity, the Lymphoma and Leukemia Society. So reach into them pockets, donate, and guess what? We got some prizes to give away, courtesy of Diamond Select Toys, Hero Collector, Eagle Moss. We got Oni, we got McFarlane, we got Mr. Simeon Comics, first time ever in print. So yeah, tune in, join us, have some fun, and do a good deed. Al Mega, Dr. Doom, and we're out.